Question 903. What toy, as a kid, did you always want but never got?
Aww.
Yeah, that's not a fair question to Jen and I.
Yeah.
That's really easy, Dave. I always wanted a Tonka truck, and I kept getting Barbies. And so I would throw my Barbies in the corner and go play with my brother's trucks, but I always wanted my own. They had Tonka trucks and G.I. Joe, or the little army men. So I guess just, I don't know, little boy toys. That's what I wanted. I wanted to play with the toys that the guys were playing with. So.
Pine Snake says Pamela Anderson. How old were you? Sammy says a dingaling. I really wanted to play with someone's dingaling.
By dingaling.
What toy did you want as a kid?
He had his own dingaling.
I wanted a thing that didn't exist at the time, which were those lightsabers that you can actually like duel with properly, rather than you just hit them against each other once and they fucking break because they're made out of shit plastic.
You mean broom handles? That's what we used.
Yeah, that's what I used as well. Oh no, actually, at one point I had you know those lightsaber toys that were telescoping plastic and they would extend when you flick them.
I know the ones you're on about.
Yeah, they call those police batons.
Yeah, we took down this old blue blind when I was a child, and I used that because when I flicked it, it would extend. So I put a sort of a handle on it, and that was a lightsaber now.
Let's just say, I mean, let's just say, I think I can kind of agree with Badgers. I think my childhood would have been so much more better if Ultra Sabers were a thing back then.
Alright, I'll answer honestly. The toy I most wanted I probably got, but my second most wanted toy that I wanted was one of those porcelain, the dolls with porcelain heads and hands. They're fragile toy, but they're absolutely gorgeous, and I want one and I never got one. I don't know whether I didn't get one because my parents were terrified I'd do brackets.
Honest answer. When I was a kid, I did have a couple of Transformer toys, but never got Optimus Prime, which is the one I really wanted.
Oh, you're right. I neither did, and I didn't get the one when he turned into a gun. I didn't have any of the big Transformers. That's
Megatron.
not what. Yeah,
Megatron. Yeah.
I did get the Bionic Woman doll I wanted. That was cool.
I find it funny that we don't call the boys' toys dolls. They were very clearly action figures of fucking dolls.
Well, that was very much a deliberate thing by
Mattel.
Maybe Hasbro, I think.
I had a Trixie, the trailer whore doll. She was considered an action figure.
When I was a very young child, I had yeah, it took me a second there. When I was a very young child, I had this pink ragdoll that was it was pink with like long blonde hair, and it was my favorite thing. It was not a stereotypically boy thing at all, but it was my favorite thing ever.
Cool. Godless Granny says, one of those plush toys with coloured balls that pop when you push it. I have no idea.
They're called corn poppers.
Corn
Fisher
poppers.
Price corn popper.
Oh,
Mama Atheist. Go on.
No, after you, I forgot.
Mama Atheist said, the Strawberry Shortcake Dream House. And Sammy says, I was a promiscuous kid. Santi says, I wanted a toy train like the ones you build.
Oh yeah, actually, I tell you, I wouldn't have minded like a Hornby Railway. Definitely.
I thought about it. There were a lot more effort than it was put on.
Yeah, I did get a scale extra though, so I can't complain too much. I can't really complain about anything.
Scale Electrics was quite cool. Manda says, Angel has like 15 lightsabers. I'm a cool mum. Yes, but you bought them because you wanted them. You bought them because you wanted them.
Are any of them any good though? That's the question.
Right. Has anyone seen the Around the World in 80 Days film that has Jackie Chan in it?
Yes.
I
Steve
wanted
Coogan.
the walking stick that Steve Coogan's character had because it did everything, apart from be a sensible weapon when he wanted it to be.
I want Inspector Gadget's head.
I like that entire walking stick where he's just there going there. My stick will produce a weapon far superior to yours.
I did just double check my history on that a second. I was saying again about term action figure. Yes, it was Hasbro that coined that as a way of trying to sell dolls to boys, and it was G.I. Joe dolls. That was when that's how it started. It was Hasbro toys trying to sell G.I. Joe.
My favorite toys as a kid was Smurfs. I loved Smurfs.
Smurfs.
See, now, the one I could never understand as a fad. I know it was a fad, and it was nothing I was into because it was. I think they were mainly marketed to girls, but a lot of adults were buying these things. I never got the fucking Beanie Baby craze at all, and people buying them thinking those things were going to be worth a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
It's
called supply and demand.
It was. They just fell for a bloody obvious scam in a way.
I mean, I had a mate that made a fortune on them.
Did anyone else?
If you did it short term,
Didn't hear any of that, Jen, because someone's talking.
Sorry. If you did that short term, may that be there were most people, but most people bought them as long term investments, and of course most of them are pretty much worth fuck all.
Yeah.
Now, so because it was stupid fad.
I can't believe how many people I tried to convince that you are never going to make something into an expensive collectible that they built 1 million of.
No, it was all done. It was all done based upon the fact that they limited the supply. They intentionally limited the supply.
Yeah,
and did limited runs of specific ones, and it meant that people wanted it now. Therefore, they paid a fortune for it. Go on, Jen.
Apparently, there is a Beanie Baby Badger, so
you're getting one. Jen.
Yeah, that's not worth.
The Cabbage Patch dolls fucking terrifying.
Cabbage Patch dolls were great. Of all the things I can remember as a kid,
I was terrified of them as a kid.
I did the cards.
I thought they were stupid.
They were stupid. But pretty much everything to do with kids is stupid.
That's like those garbage pail kids. They were stupid too.
Yeah,
like who came up with that?
They were a mock-up. They were basically a piss take of the Cabbage Patch dolls.
Yeah, they were like the evil bad version of. They were stupid.
Okay, I've discovered that the Beanie Baby Badger is not as nice as the one available from Mr. Lumpy and Friends, so I'm gonna
get that one instead. We want pictures.
But I think you know though when you've got certain fads of things, and there'll be another thing in a few years, I'm sure. But that are kind of, I suppose you could kind of think with toys. It gets stupid when you've got adults buying them. I mean, what the Pet Rock thing? Come on, the Pet Rock and was it year and a half ago? Fidget spinners.
Yeah,
I got 2 of them.
I got a sexy one. Mostly because people buy gifts. Go on.
Does anyone remember Pogs?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they need to die. They were horrible the first time they came around. They were horrific the second time.
Wait. What was actually the point of Pogs?
There were games.
No.
What were you supposed to do with them?
No idea. I can't say there were games, but I can't remember what they were.
It was the same game that people used to play with caps off of bottle tops one time, I think.
Fair enough. That's probably how it started.
So
Never again.
They just made more expensive bottle caps that wouldn't stop bottles.
Well, they were collectibles. You got different ones.
Oh, okay. I couldn't think of what you guys were talking about.
Pogs.
Okay.
The worst thing is, all this probably started from goddamn football stickers. People will pay for things. You just give them limited supply of time. Right.
Football stickers were at least some sort of. They're not like
No,
trading
no,
cards,
they were
were
shit.
quite fun.
No,
They
they were
they were
just as
great.
shit. No, they were just as shit as everything else.
But
They
there
were
was,
shit
there
as
was at least
hogs.
there was at least an element of fun of, like, same thing with trading cards or whatever.
Yeah,
of doing
the same
whole
with
swap and,
Pogs.
you know,
Yes,
very.
but that's the same with any of
Attitude.
those things. It's the same with any of those things that are cards or a limited set of things.
You're just pissed off because I actually filled my Panini sticker album for World Cup '90 and you didn't.
I had a complete with all the shinies. Whatever year Liverpool won the triple with Dalglish. 86, 88?
Ooh, they never won the triple.
Double then.
They won a couple double.
Sticker albums, and I never understood what I was supposed to do with them.
It's just collecting shit.
Then,
That's the whole point. Right, let me do the chat.
oh, no, you haven't answered.
I haven't read the chat yet.
I haven't
never-
What was I
answered.
gonna say?
I know. That's what I mean. Jen's trying to rush the whole thing. Right, Never Again says, I'm at a loss. I just finally realised I was taught never to ask for toys. That's quite sad. Sammy says, my mum usually gave up and got us what we wanted. There was 5 of us. Quentin Phipps, I wanted authentic nunchucks because they looked fun to swing around. I'm not surprised you didn't get them.
Yeah. It's, generally, if I find asking your parents for something that's considered to be a deadly weapon as a toy for Christmas is probably, if they're good parents, they're not going to get you it for you.
No.
My brothers wanted a set of those each, and my mother said no. And so we had a lathe and everything that was my dad's, previous to him getting kicked out of the house. So they just made their own. And then people wanted them, so they sold some. Made a bunch of them.
So how many people ended up in hospital?
Nobody. I mean, they cracked themselves a couple times, like in the shin and stuff, trying to learn how to use them. But actually,
They didn't just conk
Richard
each other
was
on the
quite
head.
Efficient. Richard was actually quite efficient using them. No, they were careful. They knew that they were deadly weapons. I mean, they were 15 and 16, I think, when they made them. So.
Seraphim says
They
I
actually
wanted
got
Lego.
quite proficient.
Doesn't surprise me. 1 miles away. Ike says Lego Technic sets or the larger Transformer sets. Family
Lego
says
Technics
Lincoln.
are quite cool.
They were, but they were still weren't Lego. B says Lincoln Logs Erector sets. The chats. Seraphim, I wanted Legos, but they were for boys. Entertain everyone because there's been so much chat.
I did have
Topic.
quite an and I'm a bit annoyed that I don't still have some. But I used to have quite an impressive amount of Matchbox cars one time.
I did too.
Paint buses.
Are you Boris?
You got my reference.
Jenny,
Yes.
what's your answer?
Oh. I was disappointed 2 years in a row. The first year, when I was young, Barbie dolls were just coming in to vogue, and although I had the opportunity to play with some, the doll I really wanted was I don't know her name. I can't remember her name anymore. But she was more like a Chatty Cathy doll, something that represented maybe a 6-7 year old kid. They were actually larger, and it was just more like me. So I wanted that doll instead. And then the next year, I just wanted a big stuffed bear. That's all.
People seem to object to my stuffed bear collection now.
Why?
Do you have
Who
Stife?
cares?
Me, I've got
Whatever
hundreds.
makes you happy.
I love Stife bears.
I will definitely say that I definitely will say something in favour of of a certain stuffed animal or whatever. Children these days who don't necessarily grow up with stuffed animals or cassette players are never gonna know the joys of putting Motley Crue's "Shout at the Devil" in a Teddy Ruxpin.
It's terrible.
They don't even know what pencils are for.
Seraphim screams, "Oh my god, yes, Jeff."
Sorry?
Seraphim screams, "Oh my god, yes, Jeff." I think she...
Okay.
Precisely.
Hmm.
I have one of those. You know, it was a while ago now. You know when PG Tips was doing that thing with the monkey?
Yeah, I've got 2 of them. I've got one in the car in bondage. Did you know they did a bondage one?
I did
Got
not.
complete leatherware that I made for it, with its hands tied and its feet tied and a
Now-
yeah.
Dave, that doesn't sound like they did a bondage one to me. That sounds like you did a bondage one.
Same thing.
They provided the cute monkey
Monkey
that was stuck on
nuts.
my car.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something about that before I distracted you?
Yeah, I got one.
You got one? Yeah, I got 2. I got 2. One that's happy and one that's not.
Yeah. Remember this thing I got? Yeah, I got loads of those. Fuck yourself.
You know what else I've got loads of? I'm not quite so proud of this.
Go on.
Meerkats.
Oh, I've got one of those.
You got one of those.
Yeah, because I was
the worst thing is
insurers.
if my green screen wasn't there, you'd see them because they're there.
I was changing insurers, and the insurer I was with, I went to compare the meerkat and found a better deal. So I went back to that insurer and said, "Now, can you give me a better offer than this other deal I found, including compensation for not getting a meerkat?" They went, "No, we can't." I went, "Okay, I'll get the meerkat."
The worst thing is that through the compare the market, the same insurance is usually cheaper from the same company.
How do meerkats taste?
Very.
These ones don't taste that great.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.